Back and to the left. Yeah.
The show with more endurance than radiation itself.
You say either, and I say either.
Apparently official. Stand by, please.
Tommy Boyds.
Apparently official.
Have you no compassion?
Stand by, please.
Let's rehang the pictures in the gallery of life.
There is no escaping here.
Tommy Boyds.
You know what you want to do, good morning, if you want to fly free as a bird, and you do, forget hang gliding, forget gyrocopters, forget parachuting and parascending, forget helium balloons, forget any of that. Just learn to distrust the experts, and then you will be free, and then you will fly free. All our lives, from the moment we're born and we believe that our parents are the centres of the universe, and whatever they say, do, or even think must be 100% right. We live in the shadow of people who we believe know more than we do, but they don't. They don't. Then we go to school. And what differentiates us from the adult at the front, in front of the blackboard? Nothing, except he or she have been hanging around this planet for 20 or 30 years, picked up one or two bits of bog standard stuff, and they're going to offload it on us. And because we think, well, we're 7, 8, 9 years old, we don't know anything, we must listen to them. And we must find out what the truths are. Don't bother. Same when you go to church. Same when you go to church. But I believe that at a key moment in the lives of all people who are free, they suddenly recognize other people's expertise for what it is. A glass of water, and grubby water at that. Free call 0500 1053 89. There's nothing more exciting than tweaking the tail of the experts. So let's do it between now and 4 o'clock. Because, you know, as much as historians know, or claim to know, about humanity, its history, and planet Earth, its history, they can't answer what ought to be the simplest question of them all. They will offer you theories. They'll tart those theories up by saying things along the lines of the current favourite is, or the bulk of the evidence which exists tends to support, but, and this is what I thought we'd talk about between now and 4 o'clock, they still don't know why the dinosaurs died out. They simply don't. It has to be the most fascinating mystery. One would have thought the easiest to solve, because the evidence, you know, is in every decent museum in every capital city in every country in the world. Everybody's got a few dinosaur bones. You'd think it would be the easiest thing, wouldn't you, to work out how something died out if you've got bits of its remains that you can put under a microscope, evidence of its DNA. You know how big it was, you know where it lived, you can work out the climatic conditions, you can work out just about everything. They can work out almost to the fortnight when the dinosaurs died out, but they don't know why or how. Free call 0500 1053 89. And it's in the news at the moment because this month's New Science USA has a piece by two revered historians, natural historians, Brian Hitchcock and Dan Levine, which offers tentative evidence for a new theory. Free call 0500 1053 89. Of course, I'm quite happy to talk with or give you an opportunity to talk against creationists and evolutionists, because you may be somebody who believes that the world began 4,000 years ago and that the dinosaurs are somehow some kind of a red herring designed to deflect us away from the truth, which is that God made the world in 7 days. Free call 0500 1053 89. You may be somebody whose natural sense of science is so incensed by the idea that there are still people on planet Earth in 1998 who believe that God made the world, rather like a Blue Peter model, and you would like to take up arms against them, verbally, of course. Well, free call 0500 1053 89. I'll tell you what the latest theory is on why the dinosaurs became extinct in just a moment, but I hardly need to run past the theories which are up and running. First of all, there is the fundamental evolutionary idea, which is that somehow the dinosaurs were outstripped by a superior form of life. But there is no evidence of what that form of life was, or it is, if it was us, because we weren't around for several hundred millions of years. So it can't have been us, and it can't have been the toothed mammals, because not even the most fearsome saber-toothed tiger would have been anything of a match for the smallest iguanodon. So it can't surely have been simple evolution. Was it a change in the environment? Was there a dramatic change in the climate, in the world's weather? And if so, what caused it? And one of the favourite theories that have been knocking around for about 10 years is that an enormous meteorite hit planet Earth. Where it's supposed to have hit, still people are talking. Some say the Gulf of Mexico, some say the middle of the United States of America. Wherever it hit, if it hit, there's very little proof, apart from a layer of carbon, which can be found in the Earth's crust, which they date at around about the time that the dinosaurs died out, which suggests that it is possible that an enormous meteorite landed, threw up a dust storm, which effectively blocked out the sun and killed the vegetation that the plant-eating dinosaurs lived on, and because they died, the dinosaur-eating dinosaurs also had their diet interrupted, and so they died out. That's probably the world's favourite theory. But then there's the methane theory. Now, don't giggle at the back, but there are people, and if you go to the Natural History Museum, you will see that this theory has its eminent supporters, that the dinosaurs created so much methane gas through their natural eating habits, a lot of vegetation, a lot of green vegetation, a lot of rotting green vegetation, the big vegetable-eating ones, that they created an early form of the greenhouse effect, and that global warming was responsible for the disappearance of the main source of food of the vegetable-eating dinosaurs. So it was their wind. Yeah, I know. You go to giggle, but it's the best the scientists can do. A meteorite. Digestive disorders. There is a theory which is totally wacko but has to be mentioned, which is that the dinosaurs were culled or hunted to extinction by a visiting intelligence. And when you look at what happened to, for example, the herds of buffalo and bison in the United States about 150 years ago, you can see that it would explain a number of things, including why there are so few dinosaur carcasses that have been fossilized and discovered. They've only found pieces of 5 Tyrannosaurus rex in all. Free call 0500 1053 89. Now, here's the latest theory, and it's a beaut, and I've got to tell you, it works. It works really well. The idea is that something fundamental happened to planet Earth's interior, which dramatically increased the pull of gravity. Whatever it was isn't known. But it would have worked in the same way as, for example, were a whale to be beached, its interior organs would be unable to support themselves and their functions. Whales can only live and grow to the size that they are if the bulk of their body weight is reduced by the fact that they're swimming in salt water, which supports them so well. The argument is that there could never have been a land animal as big as, say, a brontosaurus, whilst Earth's gravity was at the level that it is at now. And whatever it was that increased the level of gravity may have been responsible for killing off the dinosaurs. Chew on it. I mean, don't jump at it. Chew on it. It's a good one. It's a corker. It's fascinating. Nearly as fascinating as the certain knowledge that there are experts who can't even crack the simplest and yet the most dynamic mystery facing humanity. What happened to them dinosaurs? Free call 0500 1053 89 is the number. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
Talk Radio.
I have seen the future of radio. The Tommy Boyd Show. Ho, ho, ho.
John's our first caller on the subject of the extinction of the dinosaurs. You're on Talk Radio. John, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir.
Well, you want me to start?
Why not?
Okay. Basically, the dodo's extinct. What's the big deal about the dinosaur?
What would you have done if you hadn't started then?
How do you mean?
Well, you said, do I want you to start?
Well, I was...
What was the
right,
alternative?
I thought you were going to talk first, that's all.
Well, why would I talk first?
Because it'd be polite, I would have thought. You're the... I mean, why not? I mean, do you want to make an issue out of something as trivial as that?
Well, no, you started it.
Well, I'm saying to you, we're talking about the dodo and the
You
dinosaur.
don't walk into the pub, do you? Walk up to some bloke who says, hello, John. You don't say, do you want to start? You'd end up with a...
Well, I call that polite.
But you'd end up with a fat lip.
Oh, come on.
What do you mean, come on?
Come on, don't be stupid.
I'm not being stupid. I'm just saying, that's not how conversation works.
I think you're avoiding the issue. I'm trying to talk about something intelligent, and you're talking rubbish, basically. We're not talking about pubs. We're talking about dinosaurs.
I'm talking about conversation.
Good for you.
Thank you. Right. So what's your point?
My point is the dodo is extinct. What's the big deal about the dinosaur?
What exactly is your point when you say that?
Well, nature can't support a species. This is what happens. The food supply runs out. There are different things that happen, and the species can no longer be supported. It therefore becomes extinct. One doesn't have to make a big story about a crater sort of hitting the earth and sort of carbon and all this junk. All you say is the species could no longer support itself because there wasn't enough food, or the climate changed, or all sorts of things.
This is very jejune of you.
What?
Jejune.
What's that?
Meaninglessness.
So?
Do you know what floccinaucinihifilipification means?
Are we talking about dodos and extinction, or are we on to something else?
You're a floccinaucinihifilipificationist.
What's that mean exactly?
Somebody who estimates everything to be worthless.
Not necessarily. The dodo is quite a nice animal.
The man killed the dodo off.
Who said so?
Well, it's in all the books. They might be wrong.
Which books?
Well, the books in the library. Have you ever been?
The books in the library. Come on.
Yes, I'm coming on.
Well, honestly, I think you can do better than that, can't you?
Well, not whilst you're on the phone.
You don't like me?
Well, no, you're bringing the conversation down.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'll have to sort of sleep on it, okay?
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Good for you. Keep trying.
I nodded off already.
Keep trying, old chap.
Free call 0500 10 53 89. Don't forget, they've got the vote. Gerald calls from Middlesex. I beg your pardon, Gerard. Good afternoon.
Hello, Tommy. How are you?
Gerard, I'm well. Yourself?
Not too bad. About the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
If you look at a caterpillar, it changes into a butterfly, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes.
It's like to me that's like a form of evolution, really, in a way.
No, it isn't.
Well, they call it metamorphosis or something like that. There's a name for it.
They don't even call it metamorphosis.
That's it.
No.
But I reckon, like, dinosaurs, even dinosaurs are alive today.
When you go from being a caterpillar to be a butterfly,
right?
Okay, you do not enjoy the crucial criteria without which you cannot claim membership,
right,
of the club of evolution.
Okay, but is it in the same form?
You've got to die.
Right.
If you don't die, then no evolution takes place.
But I do reckon there's, like, if you look at lizards,
yeah,
they're still alive. Why haven't they died out?
Because, well, you see, I'm so glad you said that. This tends to support the Hitchcock-Levine gravity theory.
Right.
It was only the big dinosaurs that died out. Why?
But they're the same family, aren't they?
Yes, but they're big. It was the big ones that died out.
I have a theory, do you know, and I think it could be right.
Oh, dear.
They were too big, and they ate too much.
Yes. So they ate themselves to extinction.
That's right.
It's perfectly possible. It's perfectly possible. And the beauty of it, Gerard, is that you know no less than the world's greatest expert.
That's right. I'm just only making a theory like what Darwin made a theory of.
We can make wackier theories than the ones which scientists have already put forward, such as the methane theory.
That's right.
Which almost seems like a sixth form prank, doesn't it? But it's a real theory.
That's right.
Gerard, I'm grateful for your contribution. Thank you. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Are you listening at the Natural History Museum? We're on your case. Julie calls from Middlesex. You're on Talk Radio. Julie, hello.
Good afternoon, Tommy.
Good afternoon.
Tommy, I think it was climate change. There just wasn't enough oxygen around. And with all that methane, they probably killed themselves off. It was just too much. There wasn't... I'm just going by now what's happening in the world at the moment. I mean, look at this trouble in America, Florida, is it? I look at all the fields burnt up and everything else. Lack of water, lack of, So why not? I think they just did not have enough oxygen for their size, and the methane killed them off.
Well, I know it didn't quite work like that. I don't think that although it has been recorded...
Oh.
There is one case of a person who effectively gassed himself to death in India.
Oh, is there?
Only recently.
Well.
I can't remember the precise details of the case, but he gassed himself to death, and it was due to a dietary deficiency.
Well, does that not bear out what I say? And I didn't even know it till you told me.
And a sedentary lifestyle.
Yes.
And a preference for enclosed spaces.
Well, I mean, all you're saying, Tommy, bears out what I said, and I didn't know any of what you've just said.
There,
It was just complete intuition.
Instinct.
Yes, instinct. Yes.
Thank you for your call. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Why did the dinosaurs die out? I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There is a good argument for listening.
Tommy Boyd.
This is the central scrutinizer. It is my responsibility to enforce all the laws that haven't been passed yet.
Yes. Thank you. Steve calls from Glasgow. Steve, you are on Talk Radio. Welcome.
Hi, Tommy.
Steve.
I was just thinking about this dinosaur theory.
Yes.
See with the wonders of modern science today. I mean, I know it's a bit like Jurassic Park, right?
Yes.
But see with the powers of science there, if we can clone sheep,
Yes.
why can't we clone dinosaurs? I mean, big dinosaurs, right? And then find out if the gravity theory actually exists.
Well, you do need living tissue, or near as damn it living tissue, in order to replicate a genetic code. Now, that much I know.
Right.
And since there are no living dinosaurs...
Right. But there are close things to living dinosaurs. I mean, if you look at an elephant, I mean, that must be the biggest land mammal that we've got.
Yes, but if you cloned an elephant, you wouldn't get a dinosaur. I know that much, without looking.
Right. And this thing, I was thinking about the evolution theory.
Yes?
If, obviously, dinosaurs evolved from something before dinosaurs.
Yes.
Right? If they all suddenly, they died out, and then something must have survived for us to be here.
Yes.
I mean, what's to come? Where do we go from here? I mean, is there going to be dinosaurs coming from us? Like, what are we going to evolve to?
An interesting question, Steve, and it was answered by a paper that was published some 15 years ago, again in the United States, in Washington it was, which showed what the highest form of life would be like in the late 20th century had the dinosaurs not become extinct. Their argument was that intelligence would have developed in the higher dinosaurs in the same way that intelligence developed in the higher primates who became man. And they had some interesting drawings of these slightly humanoid lizards with big heads, fingers and thumbs, no tail, walking upright, but with scaly skin, not particularly attractive. The paper's point was that in all probability we would have ended up looking more or less as we look now, except we would have laid eggs and been cold-blooded. Free call 0500 10 53 89. And where are we going to evolve to? What are we going to evolve into? Because it hasn't stopped. There's no reason why evolution should stop. I read a piece the other day in which someone was saying that one day we will be nothing more or less than pure thought. Wouldn't that be fantastic? To be just thought. You've got a crimp in your love life, but Mike calls from Enfield. Mike, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Prick back your ears, you imposter.
What?
Imposter.
What?
I would ask your colleagues and your vast ensemble of researchers from now until 4 o'clock to watch whoever you are very, very closely. Watch out for the mannerisms that the real Tommy Boyd does in this class.
Are you listening to this man, you lot? They are.
Absolute inane rubbish.
Isn't it?
What on... 2 years, and all of a sudden you come up with this banal program about dinosaurs. Assuming you are, Tommy.
Banal? Banal?
Thrice times.
You want it to be a bit wackier?
Where is it?
You want it to be a bit...
Where is the man? What have you done with him? The country should be up in arms.
He's still here. He's just taking a breather. You want it wacky? All right, then. Is this wacky enough for you? 3, 4. At first there were some bones and they were petrified. They couldn't find no guts or nerves or bits of hide. There was no missing link. These monster mothers were extinct. They did not survive. Oh no, they walked out the door. 'Cause they were unable to gestate successfully anymore. Did they fart themselves into a void or get killed by an asteroid? Was it sexual depravity or an increase in Earth's gravity? Or were they gay? Is that more like it?
We're getting there, fellow. We're getting there. I'm sure Tommy, were he able to listen, and let's hope he is, God help him, I'm sure he would have approved of that little interjection.
Mike in Enfield. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Les is on the line from the Wirral. Les, you are on tour. Les?
Tom.
Les.
Hi. Yeah, I am the world expert on dinosaurs, actually, Tom.
Excellent.
Yes, and it appears, and we know quite a lot about it up here in the northwest, that they were eaten by pygmy cats and not died out, as in become extinct. Have you heard of the minerally enhanced expansion theory?
No.
Right, well, what actually happened was the largest of the dinosaurs, the most ferocious, the Tyrannosaurus rex and the Brontosaurus, were no bigger than 3 foot tall. And over the last million years, after they died and their bones had been in the ground, they expanded with minerals being added. So the biggest of the dinosaurs was only ever 3 foot tall.
If the universe is expanding, then something that has been here longer than something else will have expanded more.
Exactly.
Aha!
And then there's mineral additives so that the bones look huge.
Aha!
The biggest dinosaur was only 3 foot tall, Tommy.
Now, Les, this definitely deserves tacking on to the list of theories as to why the dinosaurs became extinct, or at least it would explain...
Yeah, well, they were eaten by domestic cats, Tom.
Okay, because they weren't as big as we thought.
Exactly.
Because their bones have been lying around in the universe for longer, this ever-expanding universe...
Yes.
Marvellous. You're a very clever man, with my help, anyway.
Well, we'll get there in the end, Tom.
Les in the Wirral. Free call 0500 1053 89. There is a theory that their sexuality changed, for whatever reason, because often sociological conditions, it's been shown in laboratory experiments, can deviate natural sexuality. And there is a theory that the dinosaurs may have become, a significant number of the dinosaurs became gay. It is a theory. John calls from South London in connection with the gravity theory. You're on Talk Radio. John, welcome.
Hello, Tommy. I don't agree with the theory with the gravity because quite a few of the dinosaurs were like the sizes of chickens, horses, goats, and yet they all died.
Yes.
So therefore, it doesn't work.
I'm not sure whether you fully understand it.
Well, your theory says that...
It's not my theory. It belongs to Brian Hitchcock and Dan Levine of New Science USA.
Well, they say that the bigger the dinosaur, they just couldn't contain their life system, so therefore they died. But most of the dinosaurs were no bigger than chickens, horses, or goats. But yet they died.
Yes, some of them did. There's no doubt about that. Or possibly evolved into something else.
Also, the Bible code also crosses dinosaur with meteor. So I think the scientists did get this one right because the Bible code is a mathematically proved science.
If you're bonkers.
No, it's been proved mathematically.
No, it hasn't. It's bonkers. No, it's bonkers. It starts scaring bonkers.
It has never been rebuked by any mathematician. It's being rebuked
right here, right now, by me. It's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers.
Have you read it?
Yes, of course I have.
No, you haven't.
What do you mean, how dare you call me a liar?
I call you a liar because if you had read it, you would have been convinced.
It's rubbish, and you know it's rubbish, and they could have done that with Alice in Wonderland or with The Wind in the Willows and proved that Saddam Hussein was going to be a bit meddlesome over his missile sites at around about the time when Bill Clinton is in trouble with Monica Lewinsky again. Isn't that a coincidence?
There has been renowned...
In fact, that was in Alice in Wonderland. I read that in Alice in Wonderland.
No, there have been renowned mathematicians...
cobblers.
That will stake their reputations on it.
What reputation? Who?
It
Name
has never been proved.
Profile their reputation.
World-renowned mathematicians.
Name one.
Well, I haven't got their names here at present.
No, you're making up stuff. Go away. You're making up stuff, and you're too thick to even understand the gravity theory because it's brilliant and it works.
No, it doesn't, because the dinosaurs that were the size of chickens and goats...
Listen to me. Stop talking like that. Now listen to me. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Why is it that you get 90-ton whales in the sea...
Yeah.
Okay? And the largest land animal is the elephant, which weighs how much?
I don't know, tons, a few tons, I suppose.
Okay, why is that the case?
Why is that the case?
Yes.
Because the fact that it can't hold the weight.
Yes, because a creature that size could not live on land when gravity's pull is as it is at the moment.
But maybe the dinosaurs of that day had a different kind of body structure.
Well, we know exactly what kind of body structure it was.
But they don't know the internal organs, though, do they?
Well, you're saying they had different internal organs?
Yes, they do.
Such as?
They may well have.
What?
different than from...
Oh, you're struggling here, aren't you, pal? I mean,
different from an elephant.
The scientific fact of the matter is staring you smack in the... Look, what are whales descended from?
I don't believe in that. I believe in creation.
Oh, you're half shifting the goalpost, aren't you?
I don't believe in evolution.
Okay, everybody, we got a creationist loony on the line. If anybody wants to argue with a creationist loony, free call 0500 1053 89. You stay there, won't you, John?
Okay.
So you believe that the Earth was made, what, in 7 days by God 4,000 years ago?
No, not 7 days, like 24-hour days.
No, right. So how long was the day then?
Well, a day could come up to 1,000 years.
Oh, that's convenient, isn't it?
A day is just it's just like
And God made it, did he? And God made the Earth.
Yeah.
And so what about the dinosaurs then?
Well, this theory might get you. Everything that man has made has come from his mind, has come from a design. So therefore, why not the world? Why not animals and plants and trees?
Yes. So what's your point? Get your point. Make your point.
It was designed by a mind.
Yes.
So therefore, it was created.
Yeah. I don't think it's worth arguing with you, really.
Okay, Tom.
Goodbye. Free call 0500. I mean, you can ring if you want to and argue with John. I'll leave him there. I'll put John on hold, okay? If anybody wants to have an argument with a creationist, it's always quite good fun because, you know, with the distance between your two telephones, he's not going to come round and bore you. Free call 0500 1053 89. Simon calls from Lancashire. Simon, you're on Talk Radio. Hello.
Hello, Tommy.
Simon.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that I think like gravity theory is spot on.
It's not bad, is it?
I think it's the best one they've done yet.
It's not bad. Shall we bring Chris in Glasgow, because I understand Chris has a view on the gravity theory as well. Chris, you're on Talk Radio. Hello.
Hiya, Tommy. How's
Chris,
it going?
Good.
Right, problem with your gravity theory, my friend.
Oh,
right, explain it to you.
Tell Simon, not me.
Right, okay, well, the gravitational force of the Earth, the gravitational constant of the Earth, which currently stands at about 9.81 newtons per kilogram, is a function of the Earth's mass. And unless the Earth's mass is changed in some way, and changed radically, or the size of it is changed radically, both of which we have geological evidence to show did not occur, then the gravitational theory is not possible. Unless there is a change in the Earth's mass, or the radius from its core to its crust, there is no way at all that the surface gravity of the Earth could have altered.
Well, we said all that.
How do you know the mass of the Earth hasn't changed?
Exactly. Good boy, Simon.
The Earth gets bigger every time it reproduces, because how do you think things are buried underground?
That's the only way. The Earth picks up a certain volume of space dust every year, about 100 million tons. But when you compare it to the mass of the Earth, it's virtually nothing.
40,000 million tons, actually.
40,000 million tons. Well, when you consider the weight of the Earth, which is around 6 to 0.3...
How do they know that?
How do they know the mass of the Earth? It's possible to measure the mass of the Earth because it's possible to determine the gravitational constants, and therefore, by observing
How deep's the Earth's crust?
To observe the relative significance of the Earth's gravitational shift.
How deep's the Earth's crust?
Where did he read this? Out of which book has he got this? Crud.
Crud?
Nobody knows what he's on about.
Mate, look, it's A-level physics, my friend. Look, it's not difficult to understand. The gravitational pull of the Earth is a function of its mass and of its radius at its surface. Hence the fact that the gravity...
back up, pal, back up. You just described gravity as a function.
The gravitational pull at the Earth's surface.
Yeah.
The gravity will vary depending on the mass. For example, on the planet Jupiter,
what is
the
gravity?
planet is more massive, there is more gravity.
What is gravity?
Gravity is one of the four fundamental forces of the universe.
Yeah, what causes it?
What causes it? Presumably gravitons. It depends whether you're a
You can stick your presumablies up your T-shirt, pal.
Sorry?
You can stick your presumablies up your T-shirt.
Well,
You're
the gravitons.
You're the one with A-level. Yeah, you're the one with A-level physics. We want to hear you. We want to hear the humility in your voice when you admit that you don't know what causes gravity. Because nobody
one knows
does.
what causes gravity.
Let's have that again. Louder.
Right. One of the mysteries of physics is what specifically causes gravity.
No, not one of the mysteries. One of the many mysteries that people with A-level physics like to pretend aren't mysteries if they can, because it makes them feel as though their 2 years doing A-level physics weren't wasted. Okay?
Jesus
yourself. But Chris, if nobody knows what gravity is,
we know what gravity is. Of course we know what gravity is. It is that which keeps us to the Earth. It is that which applies forces throughout the universe and influences other terrestrial bodies.
Nobody knows what gravity is, Chris, okay?
Okay, no one knows what subatomic particles are responsible for its actions. That's
Nobody, Chris, knows what gravity is.
Sorry?
Nobody knows what gravity is. The most fundamental thing in our lives, and none of you scientists, A-level physics, know what it is, do you?
We know exactly what it is.
No, you don't.
Of course we do. Well, how do you define what it is then? We can see its effects, we understand its actions, we can reproduce mathematical laws which will predict accurately those actions. Simply because we do not know what are the subatomic particles which are at force in creating those actions does not necessarily mean that we do not know what it is. That's like saying you don't know what a car is unless you know how a carburetor works. It's not the same. Logical deduction, Tommy, is not like that.
No, pal, your metaphor's garbage. I won't even detain myself with it. We make cars. We didn't make gravity.
Yes, but that's not just because you don't understand the mechanics.
No,
of
just
how a
because
car
you
works
don't
doesn't mean
understand
that one is not
metaphors,
able
can
to
I suggest
determine
as a
how to-
scientist you don't bother to use them unless you also did English literature, in which you know a bit more about them. There's no point making a comparison with something that you think you understand, all right, unless the comparison is illuminative or supportive. And in your case, it wasn't. It was neither of those two. It was deflective, because you don't know what gravity is.
Of course, well, it depends how one defines how one knows what gravity is then, doesn't it?
We've got a right one here, Simon.
like, it's obviously, like, every scientist, right, will tell you, or any reasonable paleontologist will say, that one of the main reason why dinosaurs died out was that a meteor, or comet, at some point in the Earth's history, crashed into its surface, causing a dust storm, which blocked out the
Can that
sun's
be perfectly
rays.
proved, though?
Sorry?
Can that be proved?
Well, there are craters in the Earth's surface which show
You nearly
that there
said
has
we
been
then,
massive
didn't you,
comet
Chris?
impacts.
You nearly said we. You nearly used the wonderful, scientist plural, we.
Well, I'm a scientist, Tommy. Like,
Oh,
come on.
yeah.
Like, look, it is evidence that you can see the craters on this Earth of where comets or meteorites or whatever have actually crashed into the surface. Right? Now, we can just... It's possible
Yeah, we know all that. Listen,
nearly-
let me think about the gravity theory. It is interesting, isn't it, that you've got animals as big as dinosaurs still alive in the sea.
Uh-huh.
Right? Where their body weight is, what? Something like 30% of what it would be if they were on the land.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that they
Well, no, the body weight isn't the same. Only how it's supported is the same. Because the pull of gravity in the sea is just the same as the pull of gravity on the Earth.
Yes.
The only thing that difference is the medium in which that creature moves.
Yeah, work with me, Chris. Let's put a feather in your cap. You're ever such a clever boy, and you're going to do ever so well. Because one of the things, what age are you?
What age am I? I'm 18, sir.
Do you know what you're going to enjoy doing the rest of your life?
What am I going to enjoy, Tommy? Go on, illuminate me.
Discovering that you don't know as much the next year as you thought you did the year before. I promise you. And it's great. It's very liberating. All right, the burden of stuff that you think that you should know and that is worth knowing, that they put down your throat the last 15 years, will slowly be lifted. Okay? Now think it through. Think it through. A whale in the water weighs how much?
I really do not know much about whales.
Well,
but
roughly.
Presumably 10, 20, 30 tons, maybe.
Okay, a 100-ton whale in the water weighs how much?
It weighs 100 tons.
In the water?
It still weighs 100 tons. It's just that the effect of that weight is distributed differently because it's in the water.
Work with me, Chris, because we want to go somewhere. All right, work with me. It is an interesting notion, isn't it?
Well, no, not really. Not really at all.
No. All right, well, clear off then. What do you ring up?
Creatures which live up mountains, which have adapted to lower air pressure.
Yeah.
You'll find creatures at the bottom of the sea that have adapted to higher air.
All right, then.
higher pressure.
What are whales descended from?
Whales are presumably the same mammalic line that we are descended from, because all mammals are presumably from the same origin.
All right, I'm gonna have to let you go if you use presumably again. Because what you should just say, I don't know. Just say I don't know. Go on, try it.
Well, it's possible
Go on,
because
try it. Say I don't know. Try it. Go on, say it. No. Say after me. I don't know.
I don't know what.
Didn't hurt, did it?
I don't know what.
It didn't hurt, did it?
Saying I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly willing to say I don't know.
So if you don't know what whales are descended from, just say I don't know.
I don't know what specific creature whales are descended from.
No, don't waste our time by making it a longer sentence than it needs to be. You're going to work for the broadsheets.
Okay, right. Okay, I don't know, Tommy.
Goodbye. Okay, cows.
Sorry?
Cows.
Whales are descended from cows.
Yes.
Explain.
I can't explain it, but it's a fact.
No. Cows are a creature which have been manufactured by man over the course of the sort of last 8,000 years of agriculture.
Cows have been manufactured by man?
No, they've been they're descended from oxen and have been specifically bred over the generations to create a creature which is suitable for agricultural purposes, breeding and so on.
Yeah, what we people call cows.
Sorry?
Bovines.
Yes.
Yes. Is that better for you?
Okay.
The longer the word, the better.
Well, I mean, if you
All
don't
right, well,
say
let
what
me
you mean,
entertain you. Let me speak your language for you.
I'm responsible for arguing with you if you're not saying what you mean, my friend.
Let me explain in words that you will cherish, all right? I.e. words that you scarcely understand, all right?
Yeah, now you've cut me off.
No.
What?
Let me put it this way.
Bizarre noise in the phone, that's all.
My exegesis of your varied epigrammatical compurgations are laden with implications of nescience on the part of the listeners.
Right.
Okay?
Brilliant.
Go on. Nothing. Yeah?
I'm not having a go at you, my friend.
Nothing. Scientists, what are they like? Free call 0500 10 53 89. Well, small boy scientists, anyway. Lonely life. But it could have been worse. He could have got a magic kit and turned into Paul Daniels. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. We're discussing evolution, I suppose, and creation, and what killed the dinosaurs, if it isn't the latest theory, which is that Earth's gravity changed and they simply couldn't get about or support their internal organs. It's a good theory. This is Talk Radio. There is a good argument for listening.
Who are you calling? Tommy Boyd. Another look at the twisting maggots in the deepest recesses of the human soul. Oh, man! On the Tommy Boyd Show.
For once there were dinosaurs. Chris calls from Bristol. You're on Talk Radio, Chris.
Howdy.
Howdy.
I'm just ringing to say that there were giant insects about 360 million years ago, really big things. And that's not the only sort of creature that evolved to be large.
Not that large.
They were very large, actually. I mean, they weren't that large.
No, not that large at all, actually.
But they were still pretty big.
You could still squash them with your boot.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought so.
Oh, yes.
On the Isle of Arran, there's a trackway, a fossil trackway of a millipede, and it's about 1.5 feet wide.
Well, that doesn't really compare with a dinosaur or a whale, does it?
It doesn't. Well, I wouldn't like to step on it, though.
Well, no. But we really are talking about animals that grow to be about 100 tons in weight and 100 and 200 and 300 feet long.
Yeah.
If we still can use feet. And I suppose in millipedes you would, wouldn't you, really?
Yeah, but I'm afraid, I think it's pretty much certain that they died from a meteor.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, there's absolutely stacks of evidence out there for it.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
There isn't?
Yes, there is.
There actually damn well isn't any evidence that there were any more than 5 Tyrannosaurus rex ever lived.
Yes, but if there's a top carnivore, there's usually more than just 5 on the planet.
Usually might not apply. There might have only ever been 5 T-Rexes.
Yeah, they found remains of other, of T-Rexes, but of different individuals.
No, only 5. Only 5 separate Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
Yeah, but they found parts of other ones.
No,
which amount to a lot more than 5.
No, you're making that up.
I promise you faithfully,
Well, I'm not interested in your faithful promises. There have only been the part remains, of 5 Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, not every animal is fully preserved.
No, don't change the conversation. What did you make up that stuff about? I promise you loads of others have been found.
They have. There've been like tooth remains and parts of bones.
No, that simply isn't true.
It is true.
It is not. I know what I'm talking about. Where?
Where? Alberta, Canada. All around North America.
No, they have not found the remains of any T-Rex outside Death Valley, Montana.
That's not true.
That's simply true.
That's not true.
No, it's a fact.
They have found animals there.
Not T-Rex.
Yes.
No.
They found the teeth. They found...
Not T-Rex teeth.
Very distinctive teeth for a Tyrannosaurus.
No.
Great big fat tooth with spikes down the side.
You're just trying to wind us up here.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
You know nothing.
I study paleontology.
You certainly didn't. You couldn't spell it even. Go on.
P-A-L-A-E... Hang on.
Exactly.
O-N-T-O-L-G-Y.
All right, then. Which came first? Jurassic period or Cro-Magnon? Doesn't matter. Go on, shove off.
Okay.
You're hopeless. What are you?
Very hopeless.
Yeah. Lisa Marie calls from Stockport. Lisa Marie.
Hi.
Look at what state education has done to these people.
And there's a few that are getting the knickers in a twist. I've got to admit, I absolutely love the idea of the cats eating the dinosaurs. I think that's great. But I think maybe a meteorite did hit the Earth, but it was a really big one. It didn't kill them all off, because, like, we've still got alligators, and they reckon they could be right from back then, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, maybe the meteorite didn't kill them all off, but it was so big it could have changed Earth gravity. I don't know. Maybe.
Perfectly possible. I tried to get the 18-year-old A-level physics...
Hey, I'm a drama student.
I'd rather talk to you. At least you'll be... Hey, at least you'll be able to do metaphors.
Yeah. Maybe.
No, you know the Earth's crust?
Yeah.
Do you know what's underneath it?
Lots of hot stuff.
Yeah. Now, you know how big the Earth is, don't you?
Yeah, pretty big.
Pretty big, but yeah. You wouldn't, I know, it's a small world, but you wouldn't want to paint it.
Not really, no.
Listen to me, how deep do you think the Earth's crust is?
It's about 8 miles, isn't it, something on the continent, and something like 4 or 5 in the sea or something.
It's not very deep, is it?
No, not really.
You know a ping pong ball?
Yep.
That's crust is 10 times thicker than the Earth's crust.
Ooh.
Yeah. Proportionally.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you know the magnetic pole?
Yep.
That moves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't know why. Do you know where it is at the moment?
No.
In Canada.
So, hold
Yeah.
on. You mean like the...
When you get a compass out...
Oh, hold on, yeah, because the Earth's like on a slant, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's moved.
Oh, that's weird.
30,000 years ago, it was about 10,000 miles left of where it is now.
So, like, what's that got to do with a meteorite hitting the Earth?
I prefer the questions, Lisa,
Okay.
Marie, and I think we're asking the right ones. And I like painting scientists into a corner because it is important to them that they know some things.
They're all up their own asses, aren't they? Oh, sorry, you shouldn't have said that, but...
No, that's fine. What are you studying at the moment?
Drama.
Yeah, what?
So, what? Oh, God, sorry, I can hear my mum screaming in the background. It's putting me off. What do you mean, what? And just, what it is, I'm on a BTEC National Diploma.
Right. No, I just wondered if you were up some play or another.
Not at the minute, no. We're not doing anything at the minute.
You're resting?
Yeah.
Relaxing?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling.
Okay.
Free call 0500 1053 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There is a good argument for listening.
Tommy Boyd Show. 1053, 1089 AM. Talk Radio.
It's Talk Radio. I'm Tommy Boyd. This month's New Science USA, in an article by scientists Brian Hitchcock, Dan Levine, explore the idea that these dinosaurs may have died out because Earth's gravitational pull changed dramatically. And because most of them were so big, they were unable to get about, unable to function. And it's a good theory, and it's up there with the meteorite. And however, you see, there's a sting in this tale, which has to be, if Earth's gravity changed dramatically once before, how do we know that it isn't changing now? Because all of us have felt a little bit tired lately, and we weigh more than we did this time 3 or 4 years ago. There are more dead birds about on the floor. You just don't know. Airfares have rocketed. David calls from North London. David, you are on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tommy.
So,
hi there. I like the mineral bone growing theory, but
good one, wasn't it?
I didn't hear the gravity theory. Maybe you can tell me that one, or if you repeat it later. But I'm not a religious person by any means, and I tend to lean more towards scientific explanations for things, certainly inexplicable things. But there might be a religious slant here. You might want to ponder it, in that the more and more scientists that look for evidence of dinosaurs and their extinction, and for evolution in itself, the evidence does appear very, very fragmented, despite the amount of people that are looking and the technology that they're applying. They still don't have definitive proof, like the missing link. I mean, I'm not terribly well read on it, but I don't know if the missing link has been found now. I've seen a couple of documentaries where they talk about they found it, and they've got definitive proof that this is the missing link. But it does strike me that perhaps the more inexplicable these things are, as they piece the evidence together, and that the holes that are in the evidence, perhaps it could be some kind of higher power just presenting us with the evidence that it wants to present us with.
Yes. I tell you why, I like the idea that life is not only stranger than we know, but stranger than we could possibly ever know, for two reasons. One, because it sort of strikes a chord, doesn't it?
Yes.
And two, because it means you don't have to bother really anymore.
Well, in finding answers.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, but we're all hungry for answers. I mean, I think I certainly am, and everyone who's ringing in is.
I know. I couldn't agree with you more. And shall I tell you my theory? It is that as the millennium approaches, we're going to get hungrier and hungrier.
For answers.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's some kind of big,
absolutely
dramatic day that's going to happen on January the 1st.
I say that philosophy is the new rock and roll.
Could well be. It's certainly fashionable. But, I mean, look at it from another way. Something else that perhaps makes me think more that perhaps there's a deity is space.
Yes.
And our position in the galaxy
Yes.
and in the solar system. And the fact that we're taught that it's infinite. And that I, as a person, cannot conceive of that. I can't visualize something that's infinite. So perhaps as we evolve as humanity and we eventually left the planet in 1969 and went to the moon, perhaps that was us just being shown what we expected to see at that point.
You're a deep, rich man, David. I'm grateful for your call. Keep searching the skies. There are more questions than answers. Or, to put it another way, 3, 4. At first there were some bones and they were petrified. They couldn't find no guts or nerves or bits of hide. There was no missing link. These monster mothers were extinct. They did not survive. Oh no! They walked out the door. 'Cause they were unable to gestate successfully anymore. Did they fart themselves into a void or get killed by an asteroid? Was it sexual depravity or an increase in Earth's gravity? Or were they gay?
Talk Radio Eyewitness.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. Comment too if you wish. Even slap your legs and make a purchase from Ann Summers. But don't do nothing.